Welcome back to World War One, presumably. Last time, which was quite a while ago by now,
literally ages.
We we stopped right in the middle of the outbreak, or at the start of the outbreak of the French War of Bohemian Freedom, and I kind of forget what it was about, but you said to know.
Well, I had to go back and look through the last video we made to see what the hell we were doing since it was so long ago, and I realized that we left on a horrible cliffhanger. Since we were planning on playing, the next week or whatever, but never really happened. But there was a crisis, but that France backed. It was Bohemia that wants to be free from, I suppose, Austrian rule, and
Right.
they had French backing, and the Germans backed the Austrians then, and France got the backing of the United Kingdom and two Sicilies, I assume, or yeah, and. I guess that Germans didn't really get backing from anyone except for Ottoman Empire and Spain, so basically no one. And we assumed, at least when joining, that it would be a done deal, but apparently the Germans are begging for a fight, and so the First World War begins on the principle of Bohemian freedom.
Right, but I would say that we have, if you look at the sort of strength levels here, we have 550 brigades, whereas the opposition has 374, and a vast majority of that number, or well, it's actually not a majority, so never mind, but a very big number or big chunk is Germany's, 146, and next is the Ottomans. Austria feels like it's very decimated by how chaotic.
Yeah,
it's been.
They're not having a very good time, Austria.
And how about us? I would say though that we shouldn't be too confident in our own ability.
No. We need to go. We need to stay defensive because we can't launch an offensive. Also, just take a look at, for example, Germany's. Go to the German Empire, their screen in Show Wars, and hold over their number of brigades, and you'll see their army tech level is 12 out of 30. While our army tech level is 6 out of 30. So we're heavily behind when it comes to army.
Yeah.
So, and we also have we basically have the entire Eastern Front to keep track of.
Well, also the UK and its sort of cheating India numbers is part of our 550 number.
Yeah, that doesn't help. That's not brilliant.
So it's essentially, I think we can only really count on France to help us.
Yep.
And the UK will probably
two Sicilies might send some troops too, but
they might. But yeah.
But just look at France. They have 44,000 men standing in Paris, and the Germans have they have a lot of troops just standing right here next to our border. So I'm guessing that we will need to use our, how should I call it, cooperating abilities to kind of divide the forces, and one guarding the front to the Ottoman Empire, and the other one taking the one of Germany, I assume.
Yeah.
So basically, how will that happen? I guess, we have right now, let's see, 10 armies of 30,000 men each.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing 6 of them should go to Germany, and 4 of them could go to Ottoman Empire, and then maybe send more troops up if need be. And also, I think we need to mobilize. There's no real way around it.
No doubt.
So I'm going to activate mobilizing, and
so we'll have 4 armies as like reserves / defensive guard against the Ottomans, and just try to push the Germans.
Yeah, and we need to place a few. I need to find somewhere with, let's see.
And well, naturally, since the viewers are watching from your screen, I think you should be the one defending against Germany. I'll hold off the Turks, which, if I know myself right, which I do, since I am me, I think I will somehow fail with that, and Moscow will soon be Turkish rule.
I'm almost counting on it, so don't fail me. So basically what I've done is I will put maybe one in Rostov as well. So since we're mobilizing, armies will spawn across all our great empire and to try to join the fight against the Hun, I guess. Even though it doesn't make sense to
The
call them the
Western
Hun
Huns.
from our perspective. So I have one in Moscow. That one is by default. Actually, I probably should take that off so we can get troops that are a bit closer to the border. So right now there's one in Kiev, there's one in Minsk, and there's one in Rostov. So all the conscripts will march on those 3 locations, just so you're
Sounds
aware.
good.
The one that's closest to you are Rostov and Kiev, of course. I'll try to keep an eye out for Minsk so they don't amass too many there. I'm guessing maybe I'll have one in Brest-Litovsk for symbolic purposes.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brest-Litovsk. I was actually gonna say like, oh well, later we have to decide like which province name we like the best in the empire, and Brest-Litovsk is very... Yeah, we'll save that one.
True. So what I will do then is that I'll take the 8th army that's standing in Moldavia right now, and they'll march it north to join up here, and then I'll basically try to evacuate Poland and then establish some sort of perimeter here and drag all the armies that I can to here. And you have the 4th army, the 6th army, 7th army, and 3rd army for the Turkish to hold off. You also have help from Transcaucasia, just so you're aware. And you basically have two fronts to
yeah, but it's fine. I'll manage.
Yeah, I think maybe just one army in Ismail will do the job there on the west. Depends on where the Turks decide to go. So let's slowly move time forward a little bit, and I'll try to establish some form of defensive perimeter. Also be aware that most of our armies are standing on rebel hunting, so they might do wacky things.
Yeah, but that's I think that's still preferable.
Well, it's just that they tend to go a bit nuts when they're on rebel hunting. Let's see it. Go here instead. Yes, and you will go here. I also need to be aware that in like east of core Poland, there's a lot of marches and stuff too.
Yeah.
That lowers everything.
Something decent, by the way, is that our economy is doing very well. It feels like we're economically prepared for a world war as much as we can be, anyway.
Yeah, true.
Oh, surprising amount of Austrians there.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Well, it's... Oh god, and the Germans are marching up north. I'm trying to establish my defensive perimeter here and leaving Poland to be vanquished, I suppose.
Yeah, poor Poland. Ooh, a small rebellion of
nice.
White Army.
So how's it going for France? France can... Well, France also has a... Oh, there's a naval battle. I never managed to finish my sentences. There's so many things going on. There's a naval battle there outside Spain and France's coast.
Oh, there. Yeah, there's several.
And the British have actually landed in...
What happened?
Lost battle. But apparently the French have more troops invading Tunisia than they have guarding their own border.
Yeah, so. I like that the UK has launched a surprising invasion of Spain, which is interesting.
It's another battle lost now at Suwałki.
Yeah, but how is it possible in theory that Germany is successfully advancing on both the French front and the Russian front at the same time? That's
good question.
Doesn't happen in real history.
Yeah.
I mean, what are the French doing? What's their excuse for not having any? I mean, they are
mobilized, but I think they
have less units than Austria, for God's sake.
Yeah,
I haven't been through that.
It's a catastrophe. How many troops do the British have in India left? They have quite a lot of troops, but
yeah, but I hate the UK. Sorry, but I mean, look at the UK. UK proper. Ooh, 6,000 men on Ireland and like 45 or something in all of, the England, Scotland, Wales. It's like, I don't know. Although 82 or even 100 ships and plenty more to see.
It seems now that the French have actually reinforced their border against Germany and even have soldiers invading, which is interesting.
Although they should probably tend to their own borders first, because Germany is kind of advancing.
Yeah, but it seems at least that the British and the French have established naval hegemony, so hopefully that will lead to more British soldiers on European continent. It's the first time I'll probably say that.
Yeah. What was that decision about, by the way? The Manchurian question.
Yeah, I tried to look it up, but it doesn't seem to be anything fun.
Ooh, increase the conscription level.
Yeah, but
It doesn't really gives the following effects.
Service
Nothing.
by requirement. So what is service by requirement? And let's see in reforms.
Ooh.
Should be conscription level there. Service by requirement increases leadership modifier by 5%. Immigrant attraction minus 10. Mobilization size plus 10%. Technically plus 2.5 percentage points since it's at 7.5 right now.
For the next tech, I suppose we should go for army, given the war situation. But do you have a preference?
We need army. Well, we were doing some army now, but we kind of need to increase our pretty much everything.
Do you have a preference there? I mean,
I don't actually.
Artillery, maybe.
Have one. It's more
decision making.
Which one does give the best inventions? I guess maybe breech loader rifles.
Yeah, probably, since it's the furthest
Though
one.
we still need to increase our artillery as well. So this is a difficult one.
Let's just take artillery, I think, just to get a little bit more even.
Yeah, it's also one of the cheaper ones, so it will be done a bit quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Okay.
My line is doing all right now, at least. So
yeah, I feel like they have sort of transferred some units to their western front.
Yeah.
You know, we can't really call it like the eastern front for when we are Russia. I mean, it's our western front, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's western front.
It's all relative.
But are you having any troubles or facing anything from Ottoman
I haven't
Empire?
been checking.
You're a good leader. You're a good commander.
No, but I'm on vacation. Oh, here's a German army actually. What? Oh, it's rebel hunting. You're right. They did go a bit crazy.
Yeah, I would advise taking that off for now.
Oh, they are actually. Oh, there's a Turkish army.
Suddenly things happen.
Yeah.
What's
suddenly...
not good is that for some reason what is this? The Austrian fleet seems to be holding the two Sicilies captive. How is this possible? How can these two Sicilies not have? They have no ships.
I mean, just the fact that there is such a thing called the Austrian fleet is almost laughable.
True.
Also, bad tidings from Spain, because the UK's invasion has ultimately failed for now, it seems.
Yeah, and now I'm getting attacked across the border here. Literally across the border. So I guess that I'll have to divide these guys up. What are these? Plus units at...
You might call it a house divided.
Quite.
Okay.
Quite. So I'll just have to see how this battle unfolds. These battles, I mean. And they are not going well. Actually, this map is distracting. Or this plan is distracting. I'm losing soldiers...
en masse.
Yeah. Quite literally.
Oh,
quite
well,
literally.
all of a sudden... I mean, Ireland has like 150,000 troops all of a sudden. Not sure where they came from.
Ireland.
I guess it's the potatoes and the Guinness that did it.
Yeah, but the British tend to put all their troops on Ireland for some reason. I have yet to figure out why. What's the appeal?
They are peasants.
I guess I can't be as... quiet
Lots
anymore.
of battles going on in France as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold off the Germans. I reinforced as much as I could, and it is doing a bit better now, at least.
I
I'm
feel
moving the
though
front
that
a bit forward.
I feel though that the French have actually stepped up their game a bit.
Yeah, but
Which is
not
good.
in France, though.
Ooh, here comes a Turkish army, which is not essentially good for me.
I think you only need... Either you take one of those two armies in the Caucasus and invade Turkey that way, or you bring them to the other side.
Yeah, I was probably gonna do that, actually. I think I only need... I mean, I trust my trans-Caucasian allies. I had to double-check their name.
But the only problem with them is that they only have 3,000 men. Actually, we haven't really called them into the war because we can't. So.
Oh, even so.
But that's probably the reason why they're not marching there. So you're free to. We can actually go through their area.
Yeah, but I think I will. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to like invading or opening a second front for me.
I understand that.
I think I'll just be content with going through Moldavia for now.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a pretty rough battle, actually, but... Oh, there we go.
22,000 men. Good battle, good battle. Just be careful that there are some Austrian troops.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Marching down there.
Can't really let them cut me off, but I might actually send one of my reinforcing armies just to, like, back you up a bit, because your front is very stretched. It's basically from the Baltic Sea.
Yeah, but they're not really putting much pressure up there at the moment, at least. So
that's good.
Concentrate on. Well, you can accept some responsibility for, I guess, the Austrian front if you want.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant, though. That I'm gonna try to do that since your front is so stretched.
I'm even doing some advancing and reconquering areas that were lost before. It's because I realized after a while that it made no sense to be so passive.
It's always a fine balance, though, because, you know, in some wars it's passive, in other wars it's being smartly defensive. It sort of all depends on the mood that the AI is in.
Yeah. We just recognize.
That was a pretty tough battle.
Yeah, that was a tough battle. The one good thing for us is that our mobilization is only 16% done, so it's going to take a long time for the mobilization to be done, which means we have a lot of troops to look forward to. So losses aren't that relevant.
Yeah.
I mean, not as relevant as if we were playing Germany or whatever. Plus, after this big of a war, we kind of need to redesign the entire army anyway, so...
Under my jurisdiction, I also have the Imperial Black Sea Fleet, which I will be mobilizing now.
Do I have any fleet? Yes, I do. I have the Imperial Northern Fleet, which I'm guessing won't be that useful, considering I'm guessing the Germans have more advanced ships than I do. They actually have no ships at all, so I will take this bad boy out to see some stuff.
Ooh, I actually lost my first battle there on the Turkish front. And
I'm trying to reassemble a conscript army to kind of guard there. I guess you can take care of it. It's moving right now towards a place called Sitomir. It's a bit above Odessa. You should be able to find it.
Sorry, what were you saying? That I should take care of some...
Conscript army assembling in Sitomir. Above Odessa.
One of ours, or
one of ours. Yes, I am assembling a conscript army.
Yeah, but I thought you meant like an enemy one.
No.
Sure. Why the hell not?
It's for fighting the ugly Austrians.
Fugly.
I mean, what's a war without saying mean things about?
About Belgians.
No, not Belgians. What are the Belgians doing anyway? They are apparently French allies, but not called into the war for some reason, because France are not using their diplomacy skills to the best of their abilities. And there has established a small weakness in my front. But it doesn't matter.